sustainable plantation management, the presidential directive to open up the forests is not the whole forest. What we have in Kenya is 2.5 million hectares of forest cover. What we have as plantations, these are the cypress, these are the eucalyptus, and this is Pinus patula. It's only 150,000 hectares. This is just 5% of the forest cover we have in this country. This 5% is what we use to raise the money, that's the resource mobilization, to pay our staff, and to protect the forest. At Kenya Forest, we got the professionals in forestry. This financial year, we intend only 5,000 hectares. And if we continue sustainably like that, harvesting 5,000 hectares every year, in the next 35 years, we would have done the 150,000, by which time the forest that we harvested this year will be ready for harvesting. So our brothers in the forest state, in the media, in the Law Society of Kenya, it's good that you understand us. When we talk of all those resources that we need to plant the 15 billion trees, Kenya Forest will want to pull our weight by getting resources ready to assist in the plantation, nurturing of the forest, and the development in sustainable forest management. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Chairman. And indeed, it is important that we are inclusive in our conversations, and we do appreciate the remarks from the colleagues, the Chairman, and also the CEO of NetFund. Allow me now to transition and ask the colleague partners from the development partners. I chair the development partners group in the ministry, and now privileged also to co-chair with Beatrice Wamalo from USAID as they help us in our strategic planning and also in financing what we require as a sector and as a ministry. Welcome, Beatrice, and we appreciate your support, and tell us how you are going to support us to implement our strategic plan as our development partners colleague. Thank you.
Thank you, PS. I see PS is committing us already. Yeah, so Prime Cabinet Secretary, CS Tuya, all PSs, honorable guests, good morning. So I'm joined here today by quite a number of my fellow development partners. We have UNDP, we have World Bank, we have GIZ, we have the European Union, and many others. I'm truly, truly honored to be part of this important day for Kenya and its remarkable resources. As you know, the government of Kenya and the United States and many other countries have partnered on past and current environment activities. So as co-chair of the Environment Donor Group and as the acting director of USAID's Environment Office here in Kenya and East Africa, I'm thrilled to be part
ingilia tuje tuangalie the launch of this very important thing ambayo tunaenda ku launch leo, the strategic plan ya ministry. And we want to say as a committee in Parliament, we commit ourselves to fully support the ministry kupitia for the last almost 9 months that we've been in place since we were constituted. We have worked very closely with the ministry to be able to achieve. But again, Prime Cabinet Secretary, our strategic plan is just a strategic plan if it doesn't have a few of the things that have just been emphasized here by the few people who have spoken. Wa kwanza ilikuwa ni yule dada yetu ambaye aliongea kuhusu mambo ya the solid waste management. Kitu moja alisema pale ni awareness. If we can have this strategic plan ambayo ministry ambayo haipeleki kwa, because at the end of the day it is not what we are talking about here, this venue. It's about what will be implemented by the locals. Kule mashinani ndio itaweza kulete umuhimu ya strategic plan. Kwa hivyo awareness, tutaomba waziri pamoja na timu yako muweze kupatia hii masomo kwa Wakenya so that they can be able to understand what is all about environment, solid waste management, mambo ya forestry na mambo mengine. Kwa hivyo awareness is something that is very key. Over and above that, the implementation of the strategic plan. Inataka hela kidogo. There is where we come in as Parliament, that we must also align the strategic plan with our, of course, over the 5 years, the BPS, the budget policy statement, and the budgets that we'll be having within the 5 years for us to be able to implement what we have. And that is, again, what we will be doing in Parliament to be able to support the ministry in terms of, seeking for more funding, again, from the central government for them to be able to, of course, not forgetting our development partners who will be coming in to be able for us to be able to implement what we intend to do in our strategic plan. But most importantly, it's the results and the output after that. Have we achieved? And what evaluation and monitoring and follow-up of what we have decided here to be able to get what we intend to have. And I think that is key as Parliament. We have, when we were constituted, the ministry was given very little budgets. And we are privy to that, Mheshimiwa Prime Cabinet Secretary, that we have various departments within the ministry by a little bit incapacitated in terms of effectively handling what they're supposed to do. Part of them is like NEMA. NEMA, if you look at the work staff within the NEMA composition, they cannot be able to effectively be able to implement this, what we are. So again, as Parliament, we have been trying to ask for more funding so that NEMA can be able to have their human resource improved in terms of the optimum level that we can be able to. Because seriously also, that we also need to look at, and we ask the ministry to look into, is about the enforcement. Kenyans sometimes, irrespective of sometimes how much you put a lot of awareness and tell them about our laws, again, they just don't care. You travel. I was coming from Nakuru, and there was a bus ahead of me. People were just taking mahindi there and sawdust, and then he just opened the doors and just throw something out of the window. Then who collects that? So again, enforcement is something that is key, that we need to look into as a ministry for us to be able to achieve this. Of course, not forgetting, His Excellency the President has really emphasized on the importance of environment, and of course Executive Order number 1 changed the name of the ministry to climate change. We look forward to September, the huge meeting conference that will be here. Him as the chair, again, will give all the support. I happen to have attended the meeting that was in United Nations the other day, and I want to commit that as a committee, my committee is committed to be able to give all the support that the ministry requires so that we can be able to achieve whatever we are supposed to do that. With those few remarks, I want to say asanteni sana, and I look forward to the launch. And of course, Professor, I almost called you, oh, you are a professor, but you have a PhD. He comes from my county, actually the neighboring constituency. And we are proud that as a county now, we have been remembered by this government. At least for the first time, we gave us a cabinet secretary. We have 2 PSs. We are proud. We look forward to meeting PS Mugambi. I think we've not met, hopefully next week, where we can be able now to start our work plan and be able to work together as a team. Asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki.
Thank you so much, Chairman. Prime Cabinet Secretary, I think you've had for yourself. We really work closely with our committee led by our. We respond to the queries and the various meetings that we continue having with them. We are a critical ministry, see us always for the country. Article 42 of the Constitution is about a right to healthy environment. And this is the minister that is tasked to provide that. Climate change issues that are happening is critical, and we are the ministry that is responsible for the same. Prime Cabinet Secretary, our chief guest, the launch of the Strategic Plan 2023-2027 is anchored under the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, Peter, under the Kenya Kwanza administration, the Kenya Kwanza plan, and it has been exposed on the 5 key resultant areas. And the top 5 priorities and within the various sectors, especially for our land and natural sector, which of course we heavily lead, the environment, and we identified the 5 key areas that we are working on. The natural resources governance, the revenue and tax base that we need to increase, the sustainable waste management as alluded, natural resources, the conservation, restoration, and management or ecological investment, and including the livelihoods and job creation. And that has been exposed, and that's what we are focusing as a sector, and of course we brought into the ministry. Allow me now, Prime, to invite PS from the National Treasury, PS Mudavadi, to just give few comments on how we fared on in our strategic plan. Remember, we have done this strategic plan guided by the State Department of Economic Planning, whether we are doing the right thing or not. Kindly, I'll give him a round of applause as he comes to talk to us. Welcome, please.
Your Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, Cabinet Secretary, Suipantuya, my colleagues, PS Ngeno and PS Mugambi, chairs of the boards here represented, the CEOs, and other stakeholders and partners, good morning. Your Excellency, mine is just in the interest of time, to be able to appreciate your presence together with us. This is the first ministry to be able to launch its strategic plan. And I want to confirm, as the chair, you being the chair of all the technical committees of the principal secretaries in regard to projects, implementation, monitoring and evaluation, and being the person responsible for performance management in government, that honors responsibility in ensuring that this government delivers on its promises to the Kenyan citizen, that this strategic plan, as you are aware, this strategic plan conforms to the guidelines, like has been reported here, that we have issued from the State Department of Economic Planning. And we will be able to work together with your office in aligning, ensuring that all the key performance indicators are aligned, both in the PCs and also in the annual performance reports, to support them so that they can be able to deliver.
So with those few remarks, I thank you very much, PS. Yeah.
Thank you so much, PS Muati from Economic Planning. Prime Cabinet Secretary, you've heard from the horse's mouth that we have complied. And we are the first ministry to launch the strategic plan 2022-2027. We deserve a round of applause. And I would like to also confirm to you, and I know CS might have mentioned to you, we will be the first ministry to sign the PCs. We are doing it on Monday at 2 p.m. The performance contracting for the ministry. So we are pacesetters. I think others will follow us as we progress. Over the next 5 years, Your Excellency, we will prioritize critical initiatives such as the National Integrated Ecosystem Landscape Restoration towards the 15 billion tree growing program, and we will be anchoring on the 15 billion tree growing program and the wetlands and restoration. Need to invite my colleague PS Mugambi to come and give his remarks.